The Syrian rebel group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, has announced a significant milestone in its sweeping offensive, claiming to have seized full control of the city of Deir Ezzor. This declaration marks another rapid gain for HTS, which has stunned the world with its lightning-fast advances across Syria. Within days, the group succeeded in toppling President Bashar al-Assad's government and taking key cities, including Aleppo, Hama, Homs, and Damascus, effectively reshaping Syria's political and military landscape. Deir Ezzor, a strategically important city located in eastern Syria near the Euphrates River, has long been a focal point of contention due to its oil-rich resources and its proximity to Iraq. For years, the city endured multiple battles, serving as a bastion for various factions, including government forces and ISIS. The HTS takeover underscores the group's ability to consolidate control over major urban centers in the aftermath of Assad's downfall, further destabilizing the already volatile region. The capture of Deir Ezzor comes on the heels of HTS's high-profile victories in western and central Syria, which culminated in the group's entry into Damascus. The speed and coordination of these operations have raised questions about the extent of external support and logistical planning behind the offensive. Military analysts suggest that the group capitalized on the chaos created by the simultaneous wars in Gaza and Ukraine, exploiting the diversion of international attention to execute its campaigns with minimal external interference. HTS's rapid advance into Deir Ezzor highlights its strategic ambitions and ability to adapt its tactics to seize crucial territory. The city's fall is particularly significant due to its history as a critical supply line for Iranian forces and their allied militias, including Hezbollah. With HTS now in control, the group's leadership has declared its intention to sever Iranian influence in Syria completely, a move likely to have far-reaching implications for the regional balance of power. While HTS's rise has alarmed global powers, the group's leadership has sought to project a vision of governance distinct from the chaos that has plagued the region for years. In a statement released shortly after the takeover, HTS leader Abu Muhammad al-Jolani declared the group's intention to establish a unified administration in Syria. Jolani emphasized the importance of rebuilding Syria's infrastructure and restoring stability, but also reiterated HTS's broader ideological goals, including its opposition to foreign interventions in the region. The international community has reacted with a mix of alarm and caution to HTS's sweeping victories. Neighboring countries, including Iraq and Turkey, have increased their military readiness, fearing that the destabilization in Syria could spill over into their territories. Iraq, in particular, has expressed concerns about the impact on border security, given the close proximity of Deir Ezzor to its western provinces. Turkey, meanwhile, has reiterated its support for Syria's territorial integrity while maintaining a watchful eye on developments. Russia, a key ally of the now ousted Assad government, has expressed dismay at the rapid collapse of its former partner's control. Moscow has refrained from commenting directly on HTS's takeover of Deir Ezzor but has pledged to safeguard its remaining military and diplomatic assets in Syria. Reports suggest that Russian officials are in contact with HTS representatives to ensure the continued security of its bases and personnel in the region. The United States has also responded cautiously to HTS's ascendancy, emphasizing the need to prevent Syria from becoming a breeding ground for extremist activities. Washington has called for a unified international response to the crisis and urged HTS to respect the rights of civilians and adhere to international norms. However, the U.S. faces significant challenges in balancing its opposition to HTS's ideological agenda with the realities of the new power dynamics in Syria. The humanitarian implications of HTS's rapid expansion are profound. The group's takeover of major cities, including Deir Ezzor, has displaced thousands of civilians, many of whom were already living under dire conditions. Humanitarian organizations have expressed grave concerns about the worsening situation, as access to aid becomes increasingly restricted in conflict zones. The United Nations has called for an immediate ceasefire and the establishment of humanitarian corridors to deliver essential supplies to affected populations. HTS's ability to maintain control over its newly acquired territories will be a critical test of its leadership and organizational capabilities. The group faces significant challenges in governing a diverse and war-torn population, many of whom are wary of its hardline ideology. Additionally, HTS must navigate complex regional dynamics, including the potential for clashes with rival factions and foreign powers seeking to protect their interests in Syria. The capture of Deir Ezzor is a pivotal moment in Syria's ongoing conflict, marking the culmination of HTS's rapid rise to power. As the group consolidates its control, the world watches closely to see how it will navigate the challenges of governance, regional tensions, and international scrutiny. For Syria's population, the hope for peace and stability remains elusive, as the country faces yet another chapter of uncertainty and upheaval in its long and devastating civil war.